Happy Monday afternoon. I'm Colette Linden.
And welcome to the afternoon special report. I'm Chris Oldcorn.
Nice to have you beside me, Chris.
Yes.
Good to have you here. Now, we've got some few things to do. We're going to do the weather. We've got some, the premier's coming up, so when you see him come to the split screen, Chris and I will disappear, but we are listening alongside you so that we can talk about it later. Thanks to Casey Security for your sponsorship. We appreciate that, keeping the city safe. We've got a lot of things opening today.
Yes.
It's a big deal for Ontario today.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of different things that are starting to open, and they've actually started open this weekend as well.
Yeah.
I actually go into what a shopping mall is going to look like on my show tonight at 7. You can check that out then. But it's also National Nursing Week this week as well. It is National Nursing Week. So thank you to all our nurses.
Do you know that it's held to coincide with Florence Nightingale's birthday? That's how they chose this week as Nursing Week.
Huh.
I didn't know that. But anyways,
interesting.
While we're talking about Nurses Week, so we had the planes fly overhead today at 10:30. Yes. They're a little bit delayed. It was like 10:15, 10:45.
10:45, yeah.
But they're doing it across country, and they started in Nova Scotia. Here it is actually this morning.
This is the actual footage from outside of our studios here about the snowbirds doing their flyover.
So they're doing this salute to the countries. They're doing this part to fight the spread of COVID-19, and they have aptly dubbed it Operation Inspiration. So they started in Nova Scotia, which I'm sure probably had something to do with the helicopter accident that happened on the weekend, but it was very cool. We will be right back. The Premier is here, and then Chris and I will be back for more information.
Well, good afternoon. It's been 2 months since our government took unprecedented action to protect people. Necessary decision. As we saw what was happening to healthcare systems and economies around the world, we started preparing. We ramped down scheduled surgeries, we stepped up screening and limited visitors to our long-term care homes. We expanded our lab capacity for testing. Ahead of the March break, we closed our publicly funded schools to keep our kids, teachers, and staff safe. A few days later, we closed down non-essential workplaces. We banned public gatherings of more than 5 people. And we took immediate action to protect our seniors and most vulnerable. Everything we've done, every step we've taken, has always put the health and safety of the people of Ontario first. We listened to our health experts and acted quickly. And within 8 weeks, we've come a long way. We avoided the worst case scenario, an estimated death toll of 6,000 people and tens of thousands of infections. There are many reasons to be optimistic right now. Yesterday, we had 294 new cases, the lowest increase in 6 weeks. Today, we have 308 new cases. But please remember, we're looking for a trend. And these numbers are a good sign we're going in the right direction. And over the past few days, as the trends continue to improve, we have started reopening certain parts of our economy and getting more people back to work. This reopening will continue to happen gradually, but steadily, as soon as it is safe to do so. Starting today, curbside retail is open for business. Hardware stores and garden centers are open. Seasonal businesses and auto dealerships are open. Construction on many sites is restarting. And our provincial parks and conservation reserves are starting to reopen today for limited access. We're reopening things safely and with strict public health measures in place. Today, thousands of people are going back to work. Thousands of people are earning a paycheck again. We have a framework to reopen our economy gradually and safely. We have workplace safety guidelines that will help businesses adapt to our new reality. My friends, we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. We're working to get more businesses and services up and running again as safely as we can. And I will have more to say in the coming days about the next steps in the safe reopening of our province. My friends, we as we can. And I will have more to say in the coming days about the next steps in the safe reopening of our province. My friends, we have a long road ahead of us. We're at the start of a long journey of recovery and rebuilding, and I want you to know that through it all, your government will stand with you. I will stand with you. I will be there every step of the way with you, because as long as I am Premier, you can rest assured that I will stop at nothing. Your government will stop at nothing to protect you, to support you, and to have your back. We will stand together, shoulder to shoulder. We will get through this together. And together, we will come back stronger and more united than ever. We will come back more determined than ever. We will rebuild what we have lost. Thank you, and God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'll turn it over to Minister Phillips.
Thank you, Premier. As we see more positive signs on the public health front, the fight for business owners, for workers, and for families continues. Ontario's action plan responding to COVID-19 was our initial $17 billion response to the global pandemic. It provided $3.3 billion in direct support for health and $3.7 billion for people and jobs, and an additional $10 billion in cash flow support for individuals and businesses. From doubling support for the most vulnerable seniors, to providing electricity price relief for people, small businesses and farms, to offering tax deferrals for families and employers. Throughout the pandemic, we've worked with partners at all levels of government. We provided our municipal partners $148 million so that they can support local charities and nonprofits helping our communities. We've worked with the federal government to make nearly $1 billion available in rent relief for Ontario's small businesses. And we provided pandemic pay for frontline heroes who are working for all of us during COVID-19. We launched the Ontario Together procurement portal, where we've received to date 20,000 submissions and generated nearly $170 million in purchases of critical equipment and supplies for the front lines. We also launched a new $50 million Ontario Together Fund to help businesses manufacture essential medical supplies and equipment. The economic fight will continue. Our Ontario Jobs and Recovery Committee is actively working towards the next important step, reopening our province so we can get the people of Ontario back to work safely. In preparation, over 80 workplace safety guidelines have already been released so employers know how to keep their staff and customers safe. And that includes a 14-point document on curbside pickup and delivery. They can all be accessed at ontario.ca/COVID. They were developed in collaboration with businesses with real work experience, including our own retailer, the LCBO, who shared lessons and learnings on how to operate during the height of COVID-19. We are all going to have to work together to get our economy growing again. And now more than ever, the Ontario spirit will ensure that we're successful in these next important steps. Thank you, and I'll now turn it over to Minister Elliott.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge and celebrate our amazing nurses on this first day of National Nurses Week. Day and night, our heroic nurses work tirelessly to care for the people of Ontario. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Over the past few months, Ontario's healthcare system has demonstrated remarkable responsiveness to the COVID-19 outbreak. That is in large part because of our partners on the front lines, including our nurses, doctors, home care, hospital and long-term care staff, personal support workers, and first responders, among many others. As we've confronted COVID-19, we've made historic investments to dramatically expand hospital capacity and support the brave heroes working on the front lines of our healthcare system. This year, our government is investing $3.3 billion more in healthcare, the largest year-over-year increase in a decade. We're investing in personal protective equipment and other supplies to protect our frontline healthcare workers. We're providing urgent funding for long-term care homes. We have made real and significant progress in our shared battle against COVID-19. To every Ontarian who is helped by staying home and practicing physical distancing, thank you. Together, we will continue to make progress. We will continue to stop the spread of COVID-19. Thank you.
We'll go to the phone line for questions. Just a reminder, one question, one follow-up.
Just before the question, I also want to wish all the nurses, National Nurses Week. You're absolutely amazing. I've said this even before the pandemic. You're the backbone of the healthcare system, and thank you for putting your community and people ahead of yourselves when you walk through those doors every single day. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to first question.
Welcome back. Okay, so if you missed the show this morning, Chris had to one-up me and post a very beautiful message to your mom for Mother's Day. Chris and I both live, like, I'm how many hours? I'm 8-hour drive from my parents.
I'm 6 from mine, yeah.
Right. Oh, I'm further. No, just kidding. So, like, I don't know why Chris didn't tell me he was doing this. You really put me on the spot. But anyway, I've created a video for my mom, and we're going to show it right now.
Did your mom actually see that video on Mother's Day?
On Friday, I planned on doing this to wish my mom a happy Mother's Day. However, I allowed Chris to show his Mother's Day video that was done off-site and not professionally done in a studio. So I just wanted to share my Mother's Day message to you. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you. And my video is better than yours, Chris. Although, happy Mother's Day, Mrs. Oldcorn, to you too. On Friday,
Well, like, you know, what am I going to do here? I honestly, so we have this session coming up in a few weeks where it's the debate where it's like this. I want to start it now. Okay. Fine, Chris. You did a good job, so I had to copy them. I'm gonna. Anyways, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Also, just want to show a quick video, or quick picture. Sorry, it was my cousin. I have a lot of family in Scotland, and it was my cousin Stephen and Anne Marie. Not the married couple, though. That's my cousin. That's their son, Stephen, as well. But to Stephen and Anne Marie Linden, I'm wishing you a very happy 30th anniversary. And that's my beautiful family in Scotland, and I miss them. Anyway, we are going to go to a commercial and try and see how I can one up Chris when I get back.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million Affordability Fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
And welcome back. I'd like to thank KC Securities for sponsoring the special report here on TV. Thank you very much to Daniel and the whole crew over there. Also, good video for your mom there. Yeah, that was a nice video.
I know.
I mean, professionally done in the studio. I mean, it wasn't like live out, in nature or something like
it was planned,
other
Chris.
ones.
It was planned all along.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay. Well, let's look at some weather, which actually happens when you do outside videos. It's called weather. And it's actually pretty sunny out there right now. We are at 3 degrees presently. Coming up tomorrow, we'll also have a high of 3 as well, but a low of -4. So there's a bit of a bigger range than we had earlier today when it was only supposed to go to -2. So it could be colder tomorrow. But Wednesday is still looking at a high of 12, which is fantastic.
Yay, Wednesday.
That is like, I don't know, early April weather.
God, right?
So yeah, it was great. So this morning I was on a conference call with our MPP Ross Romano and also Mayor Provenzano, and they were making an announcement here in Sault Ste. Marie. And what this was about was the what's called the Connecting Links Fund. And this is a $30 million fund that the provincial government has. And each year they allot it to municipalities for roads that are connecting roads that go through your city but are mainly used as transportation. In other words, the big trucks, because they're heavy and they destroy the roads a lot quicker than cars and normal SUVs do. So here's how it works. It's $30 million. This is the second year in the row that Sault Ste. Marie has gotten 10% of the fund at $3 million. 10% is the largest amount you can actually get from this fund as a municipality. Our $3 million last year is going towards the expansion that you're seeing on Black Road right now. This year we got $3 million to work on Trunk Road. For those of you who know where it used to be the Husky, now it's the Esso on Trunk Road. That little bumpy along there. And now we've got the funding for that. The city had to throw in $400,000 because the actual project will cost $3.4 million to fix that road and the sewers and so on along there. But we got the full amount. Again, we're one of the only cities that actually gets the full amount. Reason being is we are a major roadway, as we're the only way to go from, let's say, Sudbury up to Thunder Bay. We're the only road, so our roads get used a lot. As a matter of fact, Romano was talking about, we are actually the municipality with the most connecting roads in terms of actual kilometers that go along for our connecting roads. Now, we also got numbers out today from the Algoma district with regards to COVID-19. The good news is no new cases. We still just have the 3 cases at the Extendicare Mapleview home here in town. All 3 of those individuals are asymptomatic, meaning they haven't developed the symptoms of COVID-19, but they did test positive and they're in isolation. Now on Friday, we were waiting for 1,999 tests. Reason being is, the reason there's a huge spike is because we just tested all of our long-term care homes, both the residents and staff. We are now down to just waiting for 483 tests, and we still have 13 people who have fully recovered. Now, provincially speaking, that's a different story. We are still heading in the right direction. So social distancing, wearing masks and gloves is working. Our new cases yesterday was 308, which is way down. As a matter of fact, the day before it was 299. It wasn't that long ago that we were, 400 or 500 cases, 600 new cases a day. Yesterday, 35 people passed away from COVID-19, which brings our total death toll to 1,669 people. But there's a number I keep talking about, and that is the percentage of people who have recovered. That percentage is now up to 73.6% of the people who have tested positive for COVID-19 in the province of Ontario have recovered. It was just last Wednesday when that number was only 70%. So we are heading in the right direction for people recovering. Also, people in the hospital is down at 1,024 people, but the really important numbers are in the ICU. We are now down to 194 people. That's actually down almost 100 people week over week. And we only have 147 people on ventilators, which also is about 100 people below where we were just a week ago. So we are going in the right direction with regards to COVID-19. However, there has been quite a hit to the deficit here in Ontario. One of the things that the Progressive Conservative government ran on was to get a hold of the deficit and control it and bring it back down to 0. They had a 5-year plan to do that. Unfortunately, that 5-year plan did not include COVID-19. Because of COVID-19, our deficit now has ballooned up to $41 billion. Originally, it was well less than half that, then they adjusted it up slightly, and then now because of COVID-19 and all the expenses that go along with that because of all the different funds and issues they had to deal with for helping business owners, delaying taxes, and so on. That deficit is going to be at $41 billion. And that's where it is now. It could go higher. It all depends on what happens with COVID-19 going forward.
Awesome. Jeez, you've got a lot there on your plate today, eh?
Yeah.
So that
another day at the office.
Yeah. Your interview today with Romano and Provenzano, that went well then, I guess. It was a good interview with lots of information. And Trunk Road, I used to work for the Ontario Good Roads Association, so I know much about that. I will say that because of our heavy winters here, the potholes. Oh my gosh. My son works at the Little Caesars at Market Mall. Have you ever gone through there? It's like playing Frogger. Remember that game, Frogger? Like, you cannot miss those potholes. They're huge.
At least they put some asphalt in the ones near our place. We live actually across the road from each other, and our street is like, we won't say where. You can't come and toilet paper our cars or something, but
no, they want to toilet paper your house. I'm gonna get caught into it because thanks.
But that road there, like McDonald, which is the one we are in, like it was just like it was an off-road course. I'm sorry, you can't even call that road paved for a while there, but they fixed parts of that now, which was brutal down by the timber mart.
How about McDonald and Lake? That stop sign that's there. We're both new to the city, so ignore our conversation. But it's crazy. There's such a blind spot. Anyway, we got some news we got to get to. So stores are opening today. Good news is Sally's Hair and Beauty is one of those because they are curbside, because they open
onto the road.
Yes. So no malls, nothing like that.
Not yet, no.
All your kind of outlet stores. I guess people in the States will be happy because that's all they do. That's how they have their shopping malls.
I mean, the good news is that any store that opens out onto a road right now or has a parking lot can actually now do curbside pickup. So kind of like similar, like this weekend I went to Burger Dawn for dinner. And
was that good? I haven't been there yet.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
And they brought the bag right out to the car and they give it to you. You just show up, call in, you tell them, I'm in I won't say what I was in, but in a vehicle. And they bring it right out to you and you just wait. So it was great.
Nice.
So the same idea is going to be happening with the stores. So you're going to see all the retail stores who open out onto the road or have a parking lot like Burger Dawn does. They can now deliver out to the car.
Good. You know, that's great because so many jobs were lost. So people are back to work. So it's great for the economy. I know it is annoying, like, when you say you're going to the grocery store, tell the kids, I'll be back in 20 minutes. There's no longer the timeline anymore, No. I'll be back later is what I say now. And don't FaceTime me because they drive me nuts when I'm out there.
And the malls will be opening in the near future, but there's going to be it's not going to be your normal trip to the mall. It's going to be very controlled, very spaced out. Matter of fact, I go into full detail on my show tonight at 7 if you want to understand what's going to be happening in malls when they do get a chance to open. But the good news is our parks are open.
I was going to say that,
just
Chris.
Slightly in terms of you can go to them. You can't camp. You can't, if a park has, for example, kids' jungle gym stuff. You can't use
what
that.
I wanted to mention.
But you can at least go for a walk in the park now.
You can, and it is having a 9-year-old, and now he's, can I go outside? His friends are playing on the trampoline. I go, yeah, but like you go to the fence and know your distance. He's like, oh, I know. And then come in and wash my hands 20 seconds. So, do you know what? It's great that the kids they get it. They get it, but they need to go out and play. So I'm really hoping that eventually we can get them to the park. Now, Air Canada has Air Canada has resumed service. Not that we're going to be flying anywhere. Although I do think vacation prices are going to be very reasonable after this.
Very.
So we can take Air Canada as of services are going to resume in late June.
Here in Sault Ste. Marie, they're going to be closed for a while. Still,
I still haven't heard from Porter yet.
Porter has also said that they won't be opening anytime soon either. I think the Porter's already canceled till at least mid-June, I believe they have already.
So they were, they were planning on opening them back in April. They moved them again to May. Now it's in June. So hopefully that gets back. Remember, they had a bearskin airline. I don't know if you've heard of bearskin airline before.
That's when it goes north, though, right?
Don't take that. Anyway, we have, we're going to add some sports and some entertainment and a couple more bantering sessions with Chris and I, but we are going to have to take a commercial break, give our voice a break, and we'll be right back after this message.
See you in a minute.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
Thank you to Casey Security for your sponsorship. You know, kind of sad thing happened over the weekend. Jerry Stiller passed away. For those of you who don't know Jerry Stiller, you might know his character. He played Frank Costanza on Seinfeld. And he was pivotal on that show. I mean, there was a lot of funny characters, but we have a short little video I want to share.
Incheon, Korea, 1950. I was the best cook Uncle Sam ever saw. Slinging hash for the fighting 103rd. As we marched north, our supply lines were getting thinner.
Could go on and on. But he's got some great one-liners. Festivus for the rest of us. The classic one is Serenity Now, which I think I'm going to be saying a lot of lately, if you know what I'm saying. No. He designed the man's ear, which is also the bro, the bra for men.
Bra for men.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sad news about Jerry Stiller.
And he's also Ben Stiller's father as well.
I did not know. Maybe I did know. No, I don't think I knew that until this morning when it's Stiller, and they still said Ben Stiller. But yeah, he passed away of a heart attack.
He was 92.
Yeah,
so,
he was 92. That's true.
And now we got a video of some dogs doing a slide.
Oh, this is a funny one.
This is a funny one.
Love
Another good video here.
Come off it. I think my dog would just sit there. Like, he'd be that dog. He wouldn't move. Or he'd definitely be the one taking him out at the bottom. That's funny. Well, hey, everybody, maybe we need that for the kids at home because the parks are closed.
Yeah, they're closed for
Imagine having to
so
climb
much.
back up
Yeah.
Like, you know, in McDonald's at the Playland?
Oh, I don't think you'll see any playlands open anytime soon at McDonald's.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
It'll be a long time for that.
I mean, even when we're allowed back inside, there might not even be seating inside the restaurants like that. It might just be open, go to the counter, use the washroom, leave.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too, but we've got so many other things to talk about. We want to talk about what the new norm will be. Like, I think it's going to be a long time before people are sitting in restaurants, sitting across from each other. But so before we get to that, which is going to have to be tomorrow now because we just have too much to talk about. UFC started on Saturday night. Mr. Dana White. We have a quick video, actually. Let's start with that
first.
Let's
call it Crazy White.
Oh.
Let's just have guys.
Well, I think, going into it, obviously there's going to be no fans here. We've cut the staff way down, the people that cover the event and, work behind the scenes. We are doing multiple testing. 2 different types of testing, and we're actually going to do 3 fights this week. We're going this Saturday, we're going to go Wednesday, and then we're going to go Saturday again. So we're going to do 3 this week.
Just crazy. I watched it, so I will say that the Justin and Tony Ferguson fight was crazy. This guy went up 5 rounds. It was really, really good.
I do honestly think golf should have come back first before guys climbing all over each other in a ring. It's crazy, it is a very violent sport to begin with blood and everything going on, and I'm not sure that's the one that should have come back first.
Peculiar choice. You've got golf.
Like NASCAR makes sense because you're in a car by yourself.
Even
tennis, golf. I mean, they all make sense because you can social distance, but it's hard to social distance when you're in an MMA fight.
Crazy
if you are, you're losing because you're running away.
Crazy thing is, he's doing it on Wednesday and Saturday again. But hey, we've got to go. So we're going to see you tomorrow morning. Join Chris at 7. Join Colette at 5 for your newscast. Have a great Monday evening to St. Marie.
Have a good night.